Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or you're just happy to see me?
Welcome all, ladies and gentlemen, to like the last, basically official Talk Nerdy to Us for the year, because next Saturday will be January 2nd when we'll be officially in 2021. And I, for one, cannot wait for all the stupid 2020 hindsight is 2020 jokes to be coming out and as soon as that clock ticks over midnight for January 1st. So there it is, folks.
I agree.
And I'm wearing the hat again, still kind of in a festive mood. I'm wearing the shirt, a shirt my sister got me for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. Hail to the King.
Oh, nice.
Dope.
So I'm wearing that shirt. I told her I would wear the shit out of it, and I'm doing just that the next day. And so basically we're going to kind of continue, in a way, our conversation for Wonder Woman 84, since I'm now again sober, after having to drink my way through the spoiler review breakdown.
God.
And other little, like, I guess, fun, in a way, articles to include. Apparently, this criminal defense attorney figured out how to get Kevin off from all the traps he set in Home Alone. Like, he figured out a defense for him. So if we have time, we might touch on that article as well, because I figured it's Christmas, still kind of, in a way, the Christmas mood. So if we get to that, we'll have some fun with going through that article. But before we go into that, all know my co-host, My Nerdy Home, and we have a guest here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Phil, he guilted me on his live stream.
Yeah, it's on video. Yeah.
It is.
But no, definitely, it's nice to be here, Jay, to be your plus one tonight. And I really feel I saw y'all video about Wonder Woman, so I feel I should be wearing like a fucking tiara right now or something, because I actually like the film compared to you two. But yeah, it'll be fun.
It's going to be nice bouncing things off of you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
So let me say hello to the chat real fast. So the first comment is showing up because StreamYards kind of went goofy on me. So I know Tim F has a comment before Ms. Martin Muses. So I know Tim F is watching. He's in the chat. I did see your comment. And Ms. Martin Muses, Teresa, lovely Teresa, it says, waving hi, and the rose she always gives to us, very much appreciated. John 42, hello, good evening. Octonoozle, you also had a comment also, I think, above Ms. Martin Muses. Then the kind of, when I said streamers went goofy on me and disconnected me, I kind of lost a couple of the comments that show up before Ms. Martin Muses comments. So I know you're in the chat. Good evening. Fenrir, the Ice Wolf, hello there. Good evening. Phil TMNT, good evening. Chris Arcella, I got my Taco Bell, going to double watch the stream and Yellow Flash mod over there. Oh, more power to you.
Yes, Yellow Flashy streamer. Yeah. Don't you love this new StreamYards layout? Like,
yeah,
really
I basically changed it. It's like when I opened up StreamYards yesterday, and I was going to send you that private link that I used to update the videos and stuff on my channel. They were like, "Oh, you can do this now." I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'll change it to that because it looks cooler." So hi, Steph and Heavenly Dark Side. Hi, Steph and Mara, but not sure. But my favorite Wonder Woman 84 scene is the scene where the Spartans beat up the OG Golden. Decided to watch 300 instead of finishing Wonder Woman 84.
Oh no, that's Linda Carter though. Like, you can't.
I know.
It is Linda Carter.
Of all things, you can't diss Linda Carter.
No,
not dissing Linda Carter, but I did like
the movie did her dirty.
Yeah, they did a little bit. Stunning and Brave Megatron, back to that avatar I love so much. Ho ho ho! Thank you so much for showing up, and yes, and happy Boxing Day to all. To everyone else, like in the world, like that celebrates it. We're heathen Americans, so we don't celebrate that here in the States. But anyone who is celebrating it, happy Boxing Day. And Trey Courtney, what up? Good to see you. Gregory Nicholas, it's been a while. I want to see what your reaction is, Gregory, but thank you for stopping by. And of course, who shows up? The $2 Australian super chats. Yes.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, damn, these two hoes be fine with a heart. Thank you so much, Lethal Lightning. Dave Meyer's Naughty Dog got more love than Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, damn.
That is probably the comment of the evening so far.
Wow.
That's funny.
Greg says, "Yeah, I don't hate the movie as much as I hate Birds of Prey, but could have been better." I will give you that. I was like, I will go into this a little bit further. But if you watch the 3-hour breakdown we did, at some point I mentioned that the big reason why I have issues with Wonder Woman 84 is much like in the way that I have issues with Birds of Prey, and that is the character assassinations. I could see with certain characters, and like with Birds of Prey, it was obviously Black Canary, Huntress, Cassandra Cain was like the biggest one I hated. And like with this movie, it was Maxwell Lord and Cheetah. I'm like DC, like Warner Bros. Like, get your heads out of your asses and look at your source material. That's all you have to do. You don't have to exactly, basically translate from page to story, like per se. But you have the source material to work with as far as character development, and I don't know why they refuse to do that.
To be fair, they are pulling from source material. It's
we got into that a little bit, because we were like, "Does Wonder Woman fly? She has the invisible jet." Well, yes, technically she does, folks, in the New 52 line.
They're just pulling from the New 52.
Yeah,
takes elements of all this stuff.
I forgot. Put my ears.
So there it is. I want to make sure I say hello to everyone in the chat. There's my comment. Geek Blend with a $2.99 super sticker. Let me see what it is. Sorry, there's a I need my mods to show up so I can start approving these messages. But the $2.99 super sticker is, where are you? I have to go on the YouTube page. It is the pair giving a thumbs up. Thank you so much, Geek Blend. And he is the
Is it the one that starts backwards and then turns around?
It is.
You know which one I'm talking about?
No.
Like starts backwards. It's just like.
No, it's not that one. I know which one you're talking about.
That's interesting.
I had to look at it again. It's not that one. But Geek Blend is the channel I will be on right after my live stream. They're the ones that do the Raging Geek Jedi show. Geek Blend, Raging Rhino, and Lost Jedi 22 do another pop culture stream. So if you're still up, I'll be jumping over there. We talk about pop culture news as well, so you can hang out in the chat. They do trivia as well, and I got to watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for tonight. So that was my evening, folks. That was my evening.
That's not something that you want to be telling people.
Why you're in a good mood.
I got to watch Kingdom of
I'm not saying I got to watch it. I'm saying I got to watch it. I had to watch it for the trivia.
Made it through it.
Pretty much. So let's see. Oh, the Oz. Can YouTube put a disclaimer on their countdown notifications? The stream will be running on the time you can expect delays. We'll go with that. So we'll go with that.
You can make it for her. Make it for Jade. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lord Vader movie was a 5 out of 10 for me. You're probably along the same lines as me because I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, so that would have been a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, so I was right in the middle of the road.
That just sounds weird. Y'all should use a 10-point scale. Like that 5-point scale is so unforgiving. It just sounds.
I think the 5-point scale might be a bit more forgiving because when you have a big number, it's
that's true.
4 out of 10.
That is true.
But when it's a lower number, it's that's not too bad.
Yeah.
2.
So, but they're not doing the math in their head. They just need the small number. Well, if you actually factor that 2.5. 2 out of 5 is actually a 4 out of 10. So
that's not good.
No, it's not. It really is not. Yes, we're going live. I was waiting for my co-host.
Yeah, Stunning Bray with a shit out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not. There you go. There you go. John Free People are late and gay. Yes. Stalker 34. I don't think I've seen you in chat before, but good evening. Let's see. Making sure, like I said, it jumped on me. Raging Rhino is in the chat. Speaking of, yes. Yeah.
He volunteers to mod.
Yeah. But Luke Skywalker.
I told Rhino this morning that whenever he talks about the lore, about Star Wars lore with his accent, so it sounds like he's saying law.
Yeah,
so
he does.
So I told him, I just told him to think of that. Think of me because whenever he's talking, getting really mad, but the law, because it sounds like he's saying law.
Yeah. Van Vidal, hello, good evening.
Law.
Angry Vader, hello there. Blake St.
That was
Clair, season's greeting. Happy Christmas to everyone. Yes, I am. I'm now sober. I watched Wonder Woman 84 sober. That was an interesting experience. I probably would have had more fun drunk, but
I think you would.
It was too early when we were watching.
it was too early because I had to take my dog out and handle stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
So basically, I broke out the alcohol during the live stream.
See, I started before. Maybe that's why I liked it more. I started.
Maybe
doing
that
it
could be
before.
why.
You know, I was in a good mood the whole time.
Yep, there you go. Ryan Kennel just got here. Wonder Woman 84 is garbage. I think that's
What's up, RK? I gotta find something that Ryan Kennel likes because I want to get him on my channel. So I gotta reach out to you, man.
He likes the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one week. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, real soon.
Joe Memo, they should have had Oprah make a cameo with Max Lord as an assistant saying, "You're hired, you're hired, you're hired," when the phones were ringing and job seekers were walking in. You have a job, and you have a job, and you have a job. That's what it felt like. Like
You're hired.
You're hired. You're hired. You're hired.
I like how he came. That one guy was like, "Is this for accounting? You're hired. Answer the phone."
Yeah.
They kind of fast tracked
I'm
that
an
part.
accountant?
Yeah.
They fast tracked it. Yeah, that's all.
Yes, of course. I want to interview for an accounting job, but of course I'll answer a phone. Basically, Raging Rhinos, I am the law. It's like I am
It's the law. But the law.
You couldn't tell I was drunk. Well, I wasn't drinking that much, but yeah. Like when I am drinking, you can tell I'm drunk. Pretty much. I won't go there.
It's good to know.
Orange Hat reviews. It wasn't good, but wasn't horrible. Objectively, I say 6 and 7.
I like this guy, this Orange Hat Reviews guy. Yeah. We're cool.
Take a shot for every time I renounce my wish or I wish.
Yeah, that execution wasn't the best. Yeah, that wasn't.
Okay,
that's
so
like Coming to America. Like I renounced the throne. Like that's what it reminded me of when they said that.
Oh yeah. I will watch the new Wonder Woman movie on drugs. So there you go, Senate.
No, Senate, no.
Well,
it's not worth it.
So it's a Trap Productions. Orange Hat Reviews does some good movie reviews, as he does. And thank you for stopping by, Orange Hat Reviews. And Hound 3000, I did see your comment before. So thank you for coming by. Yeah, I'm kind of like with Geekland, 5 out of 10. Middle of the road, like right down the middle of the road, pretty much.
It's possible. I'm gonna follow Orange Hat Reviews because I got a friend now.
Just canceled my HBO Max subscription. I figured $15 was the same for the movie ticket. Watch Wonder Woman 84. Mad, but it had some good moments. I did the HBO Max deal where you buy pay for 6 months up front at kind of a little bit of a cheaper cost.
That was a good deal.
And so basically it would take us through March, and I would have it for the Snyder Cut. So I'm keeping it. So basically it's all paid for anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it, and then chances are I'll keep it afterwards because I'm not sure how long it's gonna be, but apparently Batman animated series and Batman Beyond series is coming to HBO Max at some point early this year. So I'm gonna be binging that.
See, Jade, I had those free codes all last week, and you already had HBO Max.
Where were you? I was literally bought it.
I should have, hunted you down, 2 weeks earlier or a couple months earlier. Then maybe I would have gave you the code. But yeah, I had free 14-day trials for HBO Max.
Yeah.
And just
look at him. Look at him.
He does it on purpose.
Notice me, Senpai. That's what he's doing.
What's up, Lethal?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like I love you.
I think it's January because I saw the announcement for HBO Max. So like I said, I got the 6 months at a cheap cost. It's going to take me through pretty much just about at least through May. Okay.
The announcement was in May. So yeah, you must have gotten it. Yeah, a couple months.
I just got it now. So this 6 months will take me through May. So basically, I have plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go.
I was wondering if you was going to click on that.
You want me to read it?
Well, it's directed at you.
It's I gotta have a shower and head out. So picture hot soapy water dripping off my naked body, Steph. You did great on stream earlier.
I gotta get like a retching clip or something like
That's
that.
LL Cool J. That's
I'm
Lisa
trying to
White.
hold on. Let me see.
Wash my mouth out. Wash my mouth out.
Let me see.
I read it.
I
I
have
read it.
Here it
Can't
is.
be too careful with all those weirdos around.
There you go.
Yo.
So okay, well, while he's getting a shower, let's talk a little bit about Wonder Woman 84. People who turned in to our live stream last night, the hour-long live stream that turned into 3-hour breakdown of the EFAP.
It was only supposed to be 1 hour.
Yeah, it was only yes. It turned into like a mini EFAP, basically.
Yeah.
There shouldn't have been a comma. I was trying to say Steffi did great, and I'm not the one who started retching, okay? I'm not the one who started retching. Oh, sorry, Chris. Sorry, yes. And there were other super chat stories. It jumped on me. Yes, I wanted to catch up. Like $31 super chat Australian from Dan.
$2.
Yeah, $31. Yes, as soon as the clocks pass midnight on December 31st, COVID will be gone and everyone will be happy, healthy, and safe again. Yay! Victoria is trash. Pineapple gang. Hashtag pineapple gang.
It's more like a mental state.
And a $10 super chat from Chris Arcella. Hail Ryan, the Dorito God. May he bless us with his holy Doritos. Yes, he's doing a drawing. I'm pretty sure you saw, Steph, in the one group chat we're part of. That he's.
I didn't. Let me look.
He shared it.
I'll look.
Kind of like he's starting basically. I don't know if you watch like anything Geeks and Gamers still, but they do a gaming podcast every Saturday around 1 p.m. Eastern. And Ryan was wearing a Doritos shirt, so basically they were passing him the entire time. And Steph made a meme of Ryan in samurai armor made of Doritos.
Oh, okay.
That is fantastic. I can't wait to see it when it's done.
Doritos.
We know you were saying you did good, but you gotta remember a comma. I'm gonna be an English teacher. You gotta remember a comma. Punctuation and grammar is key. All right.
Yeah.
So basically, it looked like you were telling her to picture you that way. So that's why she took it.
I mean, it said like that. Then,
yeah.
So, I got your back. I got your back, Lito. I can't get in the middle of that.
So, all right. So, but like I was saying, people know essentially our feelings about Wonder Woman 84, and we'll kind of go into a little bit further again. But still, since like you also watched the movie, and you're going to be a bit more forgiving, I guess, in the way.
A little bit.
Well, what were your overall impressions with the film? Like, what you liked and what you disliked about Wonder Woman 84?
Well, first, I'm sending a love note to Orange Hat Reviews real quick. Let's see, appreciate you. All right, so
grammar.
But
and it's spelled.
I swear, I'm reading that as coma.
Yeah,
doesn't it have 2 M's?
2 M's. 2 M's. Spelling is key.
I'm reading it as every time. I'm like, why is he saying coma? I don't get it. I don't get the joke.
We're trying to be a badass and we're correcting his spelling.
But wow.
Okay.
Wonder Woman 84. Yeah. So overall, I will preface by saying, I overall just enjoyed the movie more positive than negative for me personally. There were lethal. There were some things I can understand, some criticisms of it. But as far as just enjoying the film for what it was, not looking at it connecting with BVS before, with what's going on, just a one-shot film, I thought it was enjoyable. Some nice cinematography, little action, and it gave you a different story of Wonder Woman, which we'll probably get into more. I think that's what threw a lot of people off, was that it was a different take at Wonder Woman and that you probably wasn't expecting. So overall, it was positive for me.
Now, what would you say if my thoughts to your reasoning to why you like it is, sure, it's a different feel to Wonder Woman, and it wasn't what people are expecting. Same thing could be said about Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie, and plenty of people like that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Wonder Woman that movie is not set in the DCEU. Wonder Woman is. So connectivity is key. It has to connect with with everything. It has to connect.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I see it connecting to is the Justice League movie. Unfortunately, they're not.
that shall not be named.
Right, yeah, or just say Justice League,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact it doesn't really even connect with the first Wonder Woman movie.
No,
because they're so different. You know,
it doesn't.
It's also tonally all over the place because the universal message, I will say, is beautiful. I mean, I will give her that. I will give her like the message that she's like the movie's kind of implying about truth and not being selfish and things like that. You know, like the general, that universal message. Okay, it's beautiful. Okay, I get it. But at the same time, it's like the rest of the movie, I don't think it knew what it wanted to be the entire time.
No.
It didn't. And see, that's the funny thing. It's like, because I understand the criticisms, but we have to realize too, when this film was made, the production of Wonder Woman 84 went into production 2018. So this is a year after Zach left. This is in the middle of them firing Jeff Johns and John Berg as well. So Patty Jenkins had an extraordinary task on her hands. She had to piece this shit together because it was, Jeff Johns trying to put his notes in the script, in the screenplay, and she still was trying to keep her integrity as a filmmaker while still not totally erasing the Snyderverse, right?
But they still gave writing credit to Jeff. They still gave writing credit to Jeff Johns, as far as I know.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's listed as a co-writer and as for the screenplay. But again, what percentage? Like, I mean, it could be a little semantics as far as how much, because Jeff Johns was trying to be a co-writer for Ben Affleck's The Batman Project before Ben said, fuck this, I'm leaving. Right. So, so it's like it's a lot of semantics that kind of come with that.
Yeah.
But I feel that Patty had an impossible task, and she just tried to piece it together the best she could. Her as a film director, like I said, I like her take. And I think she brought a lot of Gal Gadot's performance, actually. I actually give a lot of credit to Gal Gadot for her performance. As far as story and how it fits, I understand those criticisms. That's why I didn't rate it a perfect film. But it was enough for me to enjoy it while knowing all the stuff that was going on behind the scenes, too. So.
Well, Gal Gadot knows, Wonder Woman. She plays Diana extremely well. She's a very graceful Wonder Woman. Oh, she's a very powerful Wonder Woman, a very moving Wonder Woman. And I was telling Mara, the only part that I really felt anything watching that movie was when she had to say goodbye to Steve Trevor for the second time. And she didn't want to do it. And she's kissing him. And then she's just like, she has to force herself to stop and run away. And that could have been extremely powerful, but there was that awkward thing that happened, Mara, and, but then it's kind of clicking as to why that is extremely powerful for me. And it's because the first movie was so amazing at bringing these two characters together and having her lose him in the first movie, right? Right. So you're just feeling that emotion all over again.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's earned in this movie because that's not really Steve Trevor. It's some other dude.
Well, that's the plot of the movie, though. See, that's the thing. I think people were thrown off with just the vehicle of this whole wish, wish it to happen and inhabited a body of this poor man.
That didn't make any sense to me. It's like, why didn't he just come back? It didn't make any sense for him to possess another body.
You don't think that would have been worse if they just said, well,
it would have fallen in line kind of with the monkey's paw, which is what they were alluding to with the wishing stone, and not going necessarily into that story. But at the same time, it kind of would have made more sense since they were touching on that.
That's interesting. Yeah,
it would have been it really would have been interesting to see him come back in an actual body and then watch him fade away in front of her or something.
Yeah.
And go back to wherever he said he was, because he did say that he knows that he was somewhere else and it was nice.
Yeah.
Whatever he alluded to wherever he was.
Right.
But to have him come back in someone else's body, like just have his soul there, it makes it really awkward. I think that it would have been it would have made a bit more sense just to have him come back
Right.
like, whoa, what am I doing back here?
Yeah.
Like maybe they could have explained just how they were executing him coming back. Because I mean, obviously, yes, he would need a body to come back. If it was like his spirit coming back or something, he would need a body to inhabit it, right? It wasn't explained that way. It's like she literally just blinked and he was there. You know, she saw a different guy, and then all of a sudden she saw Chris Pine, you know, Steve Trevor. So that vehicle used, I can understand that criticism. But as far as tying this to the previous film, that emotion was only there at the end because of the rapport they had in the first film. So this story of the whole wish thing would not have worked at all from Gal Gadot's, from Wonder Woman's standpoint, Diana's standpoint, if you wasn't calling back to Chris Pine, you know, in the past. It just, maybe they could have just kind of got a little spooky with it, show like a spirit inhabiting someone or something. Like maybe they would have came across a little better, you know.
Well, perhaps it's like Wonder Woman, like writing credit is given to Zack Snyder. So like basically Wonder Woman 84 is us seeing what Patty was able to do on her own. Now I'm not trying to exactly come across as like I'm basically ripping on Patty Jenkins, because she did have the basically she also working with Jeff Johns, and we all know his like little history with Warner Brothers and what he did with Justice League and things like that. So we like all know like he kind of should stay away from the creative side of the movie. So how much of his input is in Wonder Woman 84, we don't know exactly. We know Zack Snyder kind of nixed some of Patty's ideas for the first one. I think like for the first one, she wanted Diana to have a pet talking tiger or something like that while she was on Themyscira, things like that, which wouldn't have fit with the tone of what Zack Snyder was going for. So I'm thinking, while I'm not entirely blaming her, the tone of this movie is, I feel, we would have seen if she had more control over the first movie.
Yeah.
This is you're seeing more of her input in this, like what she would have like totally would have wanted to do with the first movie if Zack Snyder had been there. Yeah.
Because that's what throws people off, is this depiction of Wonder Woman is I heard that she had inspiration from like Richard Donner, like she was trying to make kind of like her Superman movie. You know, that's why she ended up flying at the end. You know? So she was taking elements from Superman. Yeah.
And that's the problem. This isn't just a one-off movie. It's not a one-off movie. It's interconnected in the DC EU.
Supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. It's not just a one-off movie.
But the circumstance, you could see that it was no way for it to just cohesively, like when this film went into production, it literally was Zack Snyder's gone from the universe. So Patty, what are you going to do? Here's Jeff Johns. He's going to give you some notes about this. So she started crafting this film. And then after it was done, Jeff Johns was fired, John Berg. And then, Zack wants to come back now. So it's like, how was this going to fully be cohesive?
Now there was a lot of behind the scenes whispering early this year, like back in March, about Zack Snyder having all of these secret meetings. So there was that, like they knew that something was going on. And then Patty Jenkins did come out and say like, oh yeah, all of us threw out Joss Whedon's Justice League. Yeah, we all threw it out. She obviously did not with this movie. It's a sequel to that type of a tone.
You think it's the same Wonder Woman from Justice League? You think this is the same
Well,
Wonder Woman?
basically, it's not. It's like
No,
it's not necessarily like no, but
Okay.
basically like tonally, it follows
Right.
in line with
Yeah.
what
I
Joss.
can see that, yeah, like the colors, and I can see that. Yeah.
It's that's what it's falling in line with. It's not
Mhm.
like so for her to say that they're throwing out Justice League and like basically like kind of like adhering to Zack Snyder's vision. I'm not seeing that with Wonder Woman 84.
Right.
Like I'm seeing her now. Like granted, like to play devil's advocate, this was filmed before the official announcement for like Zack Snyder's like his Justice League movie was going to even be coming out. So
Right.
in a sense, her hands were, like I said, to play devil's advocate, tied because
Mhm.
like that was the continuity at that point was Justice
Mhm.
League.
Mhm.
But so like she's coming out and saying this, and we're like, well, no, you're doing this. It's not exactly driving.
Right, it's like hold up, Patty. Like you're not, completely scot free from.
Mhm.
And I get it. But I mean, it does come down to the point where it's like, how much are we blaming Patty or are we blaming Jeff Johns for the tonal
You
shift?
can't do that. I'm sorry, but you can't do. That's like becoming a crutch now.
Jeff Johns?
With no, like with directors now.
Okay.
What am I talking about? When Zack Snyder's Justice League got announced, it's going to be coming out. Yay, let's do it. Now let's see Ayer's version. Well, yes, let's see David Ayer's version of Suicide Squad because we know that version was changed.
Mhm.
There's evidence of it. David Ayer has tweeted about a lot of it. He's tweeted a lot about it. He has not held back in regards to his movie and it being changed. And then we have the director, I can't remember his name, coming out with a tweet about like, oh, let's get the director's cut of the Ghostbusters 2016 movie. Bish, we know that movie was not changed by the studio. Oh, let's get and then Yang. Let's get the director's cut of Birds of Prey. Oh, no.
Bro.
You can't do that. You can't blame the studio and think that, oh, it's the studio's fault because the movie flopped. You can't do that. That's becoming like a thing. Paul Feig, thank you, Gregory.
Yeah.
That's becoming like a thing.
So
Maybe it's bad because of studio interference. I mean, we all remember what happened to Zack Snyder.
Mhm.
That's becoming like a thing now, with a Solo. Let Solo 2 happen, or what happened with Solo 2. Oh, I really wish that we could have gotten Lord and Miller version of Solo.
They fired him though. They fired him.
They fired him. But what if they leaked their script? Or what if this happens? Oh, maybe we can get George Lucas's version of Rise of
Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
There's
Or maybe
no
Colin Trevorrow's version of Rise of
There's no-
Skywalker. Let's get all of that because of it's becoming like a thing now, and you can't always fall back on that.
Right. You like
If
pump
a
your
movie
brakes.
flops,
Right.
Yeah.
If a movie flops, someone has to take responsibility. You're the director of this movie. This was your vision in the movie. Just because this happened to Zack Snyder and it was very clear as to what happened to Zack Snyder, you can't always just not everybody is going to have that issue. Okay.
Right.
I mean, come on. Then there's a reason that Ayer's Suicide Squad was changed because they got rid of everything that Zack Snyder did.
Mhm.
So his movie had to get changed. So
It's wonder. I'm sorry.
you can't always go back to that. Like, oh, well, maybe it's just bad because the studio interfered.
Yeah.
No.
Not all the time.
One director that's not going to use that argument is Rian Johnson.
Oh, he
Never-
No, he won't.
No, he takes full credit. That's
full
his
pile
baby.
of crap.
Yeah,
Owns
he-
his pile of crap.
Yeah, so to his credit, yes, he owns whatever pile of crap he gave us in those movies. So that's to his credit. That's to his credit. He might call us man babies, but he takes full credit for that's his movie.
But I'm just saying, people have to pay attention to how Patty Jenkins is moving now, because like the more interviews she does, she is revealing more. I just heard because I'm also a affiliate with geekositymag.com. That's an online entertainment news site, pop culture. They were just telling me before I went on air here that Patty may really be more scorned than we think. Like when she took that Star Wars film, like I think they really did mess with this film more than she let on before. So
you know what
that's
I
just a
think?
factor. It's a factor.
Yeah, I think that the reason that she is scorned, and I was telling this to Mara, I think the reason that she is scorned is because Wonder Woman, and this movie feels like proof of that. Okay, this movie really does feel like proof of that. At the time, Zack Snyder was out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Henry Cavill's future in the DCEU was up in the air. So at the time, I'm pretty sure that Wonder Woman was going to lead the way. And Patty Jenkins was in charge of Wonder Woman. So I'm pretty sure they probably told her, hey, you're going to be taking the reins from here on out with Wonder Woman. And guess what? That didn't happen.
Yeah. And not that I'm not perpetuating any beef between Patty and Zach. It's just the business side of it. Because that's a good argument right there, Steph, is that Wonder Woman was being fashioned as, like I said, like a sort of a Superman in this film. And people that watch it even several times, they see those tones. And then once those plans change, the money probably changes too. And then Star Wars, Lucasfilm hits you up. So, I mean, that's a big factor. I agree.
Yeah.
For $6.99 Canadian from Stunning and Brave Megatron, thank you for letting us know you're going commando right now. And this is the goddess's name that I was trying to remember last night while I was drinking. Cersei. Cersei should have been the main villain. She's the one who bestowed the powers onto Barbara Minerva, who becomes Cheetah.
Yeah. That's one criticism. Yeah.
I'm not saying she should have been the main villain, but hell, that was one of the, I don't want to say epic, but look at Cheetah's transformation in this film, and then look what we could have gotten from the comics, like her, sacrificing her colleague during the expedition because she wants power. This is a woman who wants power, not just attention. She wants power. Nothing to do with Diana. And how badass of a villain could she have been? Like that, and not.
That's one criticism.
You don't notice me? Okay, cool. Okay.
That's one criticism. Yeah, I don't have too much against the whole Cheetah characterization because, like I said, I full disclosure, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, like I said, I love her performance in this film. It was a different Wonder Woman, yes, and we can talk about that, but I liked her performance. Cheetah, yeah, like that characterization, I thought they put her on a path and they kind of just abandoned her. And then all of a sudden, she becomes Cheetah really at the end. It just, I wasn't buying that transformation based on the comics, based on the motivations, like you said, Jade. And so that's one criticism I can't fight.
Real fast, Richard Greeter, hello everyone. I saw you in the chat. And Krista Joe, good evening. Hope you're having a good night. I want to make sure I don't miss anyone else that popped into the chat. David Penzak, holiday greetings sent your way, Mara. Thank you so much. Just making sure. Blue-Eyed Scorpio. I'm listed as a co-conspirator, so there you are, Blue-Eyed Scorpio. Still Wind 87. Don't forget the Korean War 2.
Oh, Wonder Woman let it all happen.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, your dog.
Sorry.
Everybody check. Is that my dog?
David, that woman in Mando would be a more strong Wonder Woman, to be honest. I mean, I could kind of, in a way, see Gina Carano if you're looking for kind of I don't want to say bigger, but more muscular Wonder Woman. But I think Gal Gadot holds her own. I was one of the ones to admit I was one of the ones that said I don't see her as Wonder Woman. I don't see her. I wasn't exactly.
You saw BBS.
Yeah, I saw BBS. I'm like, okay.
All right.
It's kind of like when It's kind of now I'm not a fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man necessarily, but when I saw at least at least his introduction in the trailer for Civil War, I was like, okay, I might be on board.
What you can do. Right.
Let's see what you can do.
Yeah.
So
then you saw his performance. Then
I saw his performance. I'm still McGuire Spider-Man.
Yeah, Zach knew what he was doing with Gal Gadot, so it's I questioned every casting that Zach, except Henry Cavill, Man of Steel. I was like, that's probably Zach's most perfect film to me, Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
Whole nother conversation, But the Ben Affleck, when it was announced, I was just like,
yeah, he was another one. I was like, really? Yeah. I was remembering Daredevil, and I'm like, really? Him?
Yeah. Now he's my favorite. Batfleck, that's my favorite interpretation of Batman now, after what Zach did. And the same with Gal Gadot is that everyone's like, oh, she's too skinny or, flimsy, but she really has a presence. Gal Gadot has
You know
such
what
a
was
great
funny?
presence.
When she proved her presence, you know what was funny? They had to have some criticism of her, and the criticism they came up with, she should have arm hair because they don't shave on Themyscira. Like that's your big criticism.
I heard, oh my goodness,
That was your big criticism.
Bruh, they're reaching.
They were reaching, but yeah, that's what I found funny. It's like they had to have something to criticize.
But yeah,
Well,
shout out
yeah.
to Gina Carano. Yeah, I love Gina.
Alex McCarthy, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Wasn't epic to me, but didn't suck to me. The continuity is my main issues. Yeah, I think it's like a lot of people's.
Yeah, Alex, I'm
issue.
right along that vein. It's more positive than negative. If you have a YouTube channel, I'll follow you too, Alex.
I'm not gonna stop working on Patty. Scorpio. Okay, Lord Vader says Batman the Animated Series is going to be on HBO Max January 1st. So I'm going to be
That's confirmed.
binging Cobra Kai and I'm going to be binging Batman the Animated Series.
Yes, Cobra
Ooh,
Kai.
Cobra Kai.
That's gonna be awesome. Like, what an ending to season 2. Hopefully, I'm sure everybody saw that. Didn't that kind of shock you when season 2 ended? I was like, what?
Yeah,
We're going there?
it shocked me, and then I saw I'm like, okay, Allie's coming back. I'm calling that she's coming back at some point, and then now they're revealing Chosen is back. You had that feeling, and then they officially revealed it that he's going to be
Yeah.
3. How he's going to handle it with Daniel because they didn't exactly part on good terms.
Exactly. They have a lot of story left with that. Like if y'all ain't watching Cobra Kai, like
Yeah,
y'all
Cobra
need to
Kai
check
is
that
really
out.
good.
Jeremiah M, DC and WB seem incompetent now. I mean, how many things can they mess up? Yeah, like
A lot of things.
there's
It's
I
a
think
really good track record of messing things up.
yeah, there's like I think a lot of blame to go around. So I'm not trying to solely blame Patty Jenkins because I do think, in a way, like she had to work with what the studio was like going for because like this was written around the time the Justice League was there because there was no hint at all that Zack Snyder's film was going to be released. So you had to work with what this you had at that point. I'm not exactly entirely blaming her, but then I'm saying she's saying, "Oh, we threw out Justice League," and I'm like, "Hold on, woman." No.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look because like once you saw the film, you was like, okay, she was taking those tones. Like, just be real about it, Now, I mean, I'm still gonna give her just a slight pass until like Ray Fisher comes out later and says, Patty was doing something on set too. So I'll give Patty a little pass, just be like, okay, I know you got caught in the middle of this shift. Like people gotta realize that she really got caught in the middle of that, and they delayed her film 2 years. So I'm gonna give her a little pass.
Melissa Lord, there are so many plot holes. Like, why did the power line in the water only shock Cheetah and not Diana? It was so
because she's a cat. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry. We both laughed at that scene. I'm like watching the scene, going, "Okay, that's gonna fall. That's gonna fall. She's gonna get shocked." I thought I didn't think she was necessarily gonna die, but I'm like, let's see what happens. And all it was like just I can't do it because it was like just. It was barely like a shake. I'm like, this is a woman who's getting electrocuted, and it just looked so comical.
Well, they should have explained like her roots, like like the first film was going into Diana's roots of being basically a goddess. So, but again, if you just see that scene, you're just like, okay, why is she getting shocked? And but basically electricity supposedly doesn't hurt Wonder Woman, but I gotta look at my comics more on that. But they never, if you're just watching the film just one shot, you're just like, what's going on?
It wouldn't necessarily hurt Diana, but like she's wearing that armor and it's kind of conductive. So
that should have hurt. Yeah, having that armor on,
it's kind of conductive
that she didn't need anymore because she had her powers back. So I was like, why did she get the armor?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was telling Mara, I was like, I swear the way the movie was going, I half expected Cheetah to just drown because she's a cat. Like they don't It was that like comical. Like, I'm a cat. I can't swim. I don't like the water.
If she would have said that, that would have been.
So, but okay, like just like real fast, I'm gonna bring up the Rotten Tomatoes, and we're gonna look first at just to like see the difference in the audience essentially and critics' reception. Even though I don't entirely put stock in like what the critics necessarily say. But I found it almost interesting in a way. So let me just share.
I haven't looked up to see what the critics have to say about this movie. So I'm really interested in that.
Yeah.
So what did you think? I don't know if you answered this while I was gone, but what did you think of Cheetah? and Kristen Wiig's portrayal.
Mhm.
Other than
Yeah.
other than the fact that she isn't like the comics.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you came back on the tail end. That was one character that I didn't feel matched up well because I always said I love Gal Gadot's performance. I thought she was great. Cheetah, I didn't like the characterization, her motivation, her evolution through the film. Like that was one thing that it was off. It was off to me, and that could have took like a whole nother movie to kind of get a real Cheetah. But then they did some good CGI with her at the end. I thought for about 5 seconds. So
Yeah, 5 seconds.
Yeah.
5 seconds is about right.
Yeah. Definitely Dark Side. They tried to do the first flight scene in Man of Steel and failed horribly.
Oh yeah.
And George Peter Getzies. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Wonder Woman 84 has serious problems with story logic.
Yeah.
Pretty much agreed. But here, real fast, like, this is Wonder Woman. Like just to compare. Okay, so basically this is the critic score, 93%. So like obviously certified fresh, and 84% audience score. So people loved the first Wonder Woman.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah. So like that's a pretty like decently high score for either one, particularly critics. So they gave like Wonder Woman a 93%. So so thinking that, here is Wonder Woman 1984.
Ooh, even critics didn't like it.
That's it's sitting at 65% now with critics. It's still technically certified fresh because it's still like technically the positive
had enough
spectrum.
Yeah.
And then you have the 10% difference between audience scores as of now between the first two.
That's interesting that gap's kind of widened because at first the critics started over the audience score, and then they fully swing under it. So that's interesting.
Yes. So I found that interesting. Like I said, I'm not like I don't. Before you at me in the chat, I take Rotten Tomatoes like Metacritic. I take it like Metacritic. I don't put faith in like these scores because I do know they are a like basically
aggregation.
Basically like the percentage of how many people gave it a positive score. It's in no way saying the score itself.
Ryan says go to the real audience score.
On Rotten Tomatoes?
No.
No, I was like, what?
So why are you adding me like 3? Yeah.
Because that right, yeah.
So here it is. That's what Lethal was trying to say earlier when
we still talking about that, Lethal.
Yeah, he's still talking about it. He's still smarting on that. Thank you for the $2. The Steph, you did great on the stream earlier. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's LL Cool
wearing
J.
my shirt. Batman.
I'm not the one you screwed the grammar up with. All right.
Oh, man.
So
that's a dramatic swing right there. You're looking at these scores. Like I'm a little surprised because the critics came out very positive.
Oh, Ryan said you're on verified.
You're on verified?
You're on verified audience score. Click on more details.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But I'd like just like right now, just like to case like basically right here. There's that, and then more details. There it is.
Oh, well, yeah. It's kind of hard to take that number though, because you can bomb. I understand the Captain Marvel thing that why they introduced that, but you can't really go by that score.
Basically, like I said, to play devil's advocates, like I said, I take Rotten Tomatoes like Metacritic because basically it's just how many people are giving it like a positive score percentage. It's not exactly the score itself is the percentage for the film, and like people aren't giving it like a 7 out of 10 necessarily. But also, like with Metacritic, there are people who purposely give it low scores for whatever reason, pick a reason. But there are also people that purposely give it a high score for whatever reason. So you can't. So basically, that 45% might be about where I stand with the film. It might be between 50 and 60%. I don't know.
However,
it
is playing at home. For people who have HBO Max. So you don't, if you already have HBO Max, you can watch Wonder Woman, so there's more people who would watch it from home than would pay to go to the movie theater and watch it.
All right. So yeah, I mean, they just got to click that verify link on their email, and they could be added to the verified audience score. That's all.
Ryan says it's a pain to verify your audience score. I think all the numbers are closer to the public reaction I've seen. I think it's closer to what I've seen as well.
No.
So, but there's where it stands right now. So going with that, like I said, I showed the first one. Let's bring up those scores on the more details. Let's see what that says. So right now, where is it? Like I said, more details. So here it is. Well, see, you don't have.
That's before Captain Marvel. Yeah.
Basically, that is the score.
BCM.
Yeah. So, and you have let's say the top critics. It barely changes. You have all critics 93% and 90% for top critics. So it basically 90% of top critics gave it a positive score. 93% of overall critics gave it a positive score. And compare that with the 65% right now as it stands for 184. Right? People are seeing that tonal difference. They're saying wait a minute. They're looking at the first movie and seeing what that's set up. And then they're looking at this movie and going, something is not exactly driving.
One is not like the other.
Yes.
I mean, I think most of the negative scores, if they were talking more about they didn't like the cheetah aspect, the Maxwell Lord, that's a valid criticism.
It is a lot of things. It's a lot of things.
They ruined his character.
Yeah, they did.
There's more negative than there are positives in the second one. There's more positives than there are negatives in the first one. And that's just what people are reacting to with their audience score. Unfortunately. And I saw that.
There we go. Get that 90% with Luke Skywalker.
The end battle with Ares was pretty in the first one was pretty weak, but when Diana starts talking about, when she sees when she hears and remembers what Steve told her, and she starts talking about her love for humanity, that kind of is a lot better. Right. It makes the ending to it a lot better. And she's just like, goodbye, brother. And it makes it a little bit better. It makes the ending a little bit better. Right. This is it's garbage. It's garbage. Her speech at the end, while beautiful, I just don't feel like it fits in the movie. It fits in what we're going through right now. But
that's what ties into Patty's because the Bounty in the comics article I have where she's talking about whether or not she's going to make a third film. She said the message she put in this movie, while beautiful, I will give it that, while beautiful, and in a way kind of universal, she says is prescient to her. So I'm it's not so basically it's kind of taking universal message and saying it's what I'm feeling. And I'm that's not the point of universal message. It's supposed to be what can be reflected in everyone. So yes, accepting truth and learning to not be selfish. Yes, yes, isn't a way universal message.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
But it shouldn't be reflecting on what you're feeling necessarily. What's you're feeling, because then you're basically inserting yourself into the film.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, as far as with the audience score, it's kind of hard to take the unverified score of that. I'm just saying because I understand why that was introduced, even though I agree with people bombing Captain Marvel. I understood why they kind of had that separation, right? So it's kind of hard to take that 45 and say and run with that. I mean, I have seen positive reviews as well, fans too, but I do see a lot of dissension. I do see a lot of negative feedback on social media. So I get it. It's definitely there. But specifically, I would rather talk more about the characters and how that was kind of messed up instead of just saying, oh, it just trash. It's
Yeah.
like what didn't you actually like about it?
That's what I'm saying. I think, I think that in a way that 45% is relatively true, but I think if you were to take out like I said, like people
all the
bomb it on like
zeros.
both ends. Like people bomb it on both ends. Basically, they'll
Yeah,
either
that's
give
true.
a high score just
That's a good
because,
point.
or a low score just because. And if you're to take those out, I think people would fall along where I am, where it'd be like a 5 to 6 out of 10 or something like that for most people. From what I'm general reaction, I'm not saying necessarily that there aren't people who think it's absolutely shit.
Yeah, right.
out
Oh,
there.
there's a lot of people that think.
Yeah. But but
Including
general
Steph.
audience, I'm looking at the general audience, and the general audience is not exactly like made up of all comic book fans.
Yeah.
And so those are the people who are going to be watching this, like as normies, going, "Oh, it's an okay movie. It's an okay movie. I'll give it a 5 or 6, like a 6 out of 10."
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think it's gonna settle around a 6, like as far as consensus wise, where you have like both extremes, countered in there. But yeah, it's not going to be a top tier, DCEU movie. It's not that. I would even say that even if I enjoyed it, which I did, I know it's not top tier.
that guy did not look like Reagan. I'm sorry.
Reagan.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's basically set in 1984, and it's supposed to be Ronald Reagan.
Multiverse. Is a
Yeah,
big thing.
it's got to like there's no way that I can
Oh
explain it.
God.
Because I'm looking at this guy going, you couldn't find someone at least reasonably look like Ronald Reagan. Or something.
But one criticism I will say, because we already touched on Cheetah, Maxwell Lord.
Oh, we did not touch on Cheetah. Not even one little bit. We just said, she's just not very good. That doesn't look good.
I mean, I'll give her credit. They didn't mess up like the Cats movie did, but Steph, what's your take on Cheetah?
I don't know. Did you see my pictures?
Yeah.
No,
Oh my god.
my photos.
This is like my reaction. Like when you asked for my reaction and I sent that GIF, I'm like,
Right.
that's my
Oh,
reaction to
photos.
the movie.
I don't see my reaction to Cheetah from the very beginning. I didn't like her, and because she's a victim throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, it's supposed to be badass.
Yeah. Badass, cool, scary. No, she could not pull it off. She couldn't even pull off like just being like angry, like she couldn't even pull that off. Because what the heck is she angry about? She's angry because Wonder Woman is trying to stop Max, and she'll lose
Her power,
her popularity. That's all she cares about is her popularity. And she's just a victim in this whole movie from the very beginning. From the moment you meet her, she's a victim. She she accidentally drops all the papers and nobody helps her. And she's, oh, okay. And then Diana helps her, and Diana's like, okay, here you go, thank you. Do you want to get lunch? I'm sorry. Nobody really. Yeah, I don't really have any. Nobody really. Okay. I'm just here. She guilts Diana into hanging out with her, into having, you can see it on her face. She's like, well, we can have dinner. You want to have dinner?
Yeah.
It's a guilt dinner. I'll hang out with you, you poor little thing.
Yeah, I've done that before. Yeah,
I will hang out with you.
Now I could see Charlize Theron as Cheetah if they were doing Cheetah from the comics.
Like for real. Because I mean the Barbara character, it wasn't like a pushover like that either in the comics. So if they would have brought some of that, not even connect Diana to that story, just make her get her powers like the comics.
Yeah.
That Now I will say, Kristen Wiig, the White House scene, I thought was the closest to the character that she hit as far as just the elements of Cheetah. But I mean, they had her motivations. You saw her motivations at that point. But at that point, Wonder Woman was weakened. Like, it wouldn't have been a fight at all if Wonder Woman was not weakened in this film. The film would have been over, in a half hour. So, but at that point, I was just like, okay, that was a good intersection where Wonder Woman was getting weaker and Cheetah was ascending, and then they kind of went weird after that.
So,
but yeah,
that's all I can give her. That's all.
No, even but her reasoning for just like being so incredibly just angry at Diana is because her wish was to be Diana. She wanted to be Diana.
Right.
because she's just not happy with who she is. So she wants to pretend to be somebody else. And she likes all of the attention that she's receiving being Diana, even though Diana's trying to tell her, like, we all have our own pain. And Diana, it compliments her when they're at dinner. She's like, you know, how are you not? What do you mean you're not popular? You're so personable. You're so funny. I haven't laughed like this in so long. You know, she gives her so many compliments. And this woman's that she's just not hearing them. You know, she's just like not hearing anything. You know, she doesn't hear anything Diana says, because when she goes and she makes a wish, she's just like, I want to be like Diana and really special.
But it's just the superficial qualities. Like she's not
all the superficial things about that she thinks Diana is. That's what she wants to be.
Yeah.
And then she gets that wish, and she's just like enjoying all of the attention. And you know, when she makes mistakes, she doesn't take ownership of those mistakes. So when Diana gets mad at her, like what happened to that citrine rock or whatever, she's like, whoa, why are you getting on my case?
Like, whoa, bro.
Why are you getting on my case? Whoa. What did I do wrong? Dude, you work at the fucking Smithsonian. Do you really like think that it's a good idea to just give out a rock? You work at the Smithsonian.
Like, no matter how like worthless you think the Rock is, you don't just give like some like even if he's a patron, you don't give someone some like an artifact that comes to your museum unless you get the official okay. So her going like, what did I do? I'm like, you broke the law, essentially.
And, you know, and so she doesn't take ownership of that. And when Diana was like, okay, whatever, and she's like, I'll just find it, take care of it, I'll take care of it. She leaves, and you know, it's like she's sitting there scorned because, I can't believe she got mad at me. And she's like, okay, call me or not.
Sounds like a CW show, the way you describe it stuff.
Yeah, it's serious. That's because she is just she's a victim from the very beginning. She doesn't take ownership of anything. The only thing that I really kind of liked was whenever she was, and this is not even it just goes into like that whole fucking mental whatever, is with the homeless guy. The homeless guy was, you know, the only person. The homeless guy was the only person, you know, she was like, oh, hey, he saw her. He knew her name. You know, she brought him food, and she's like, I wanted to give this to you while it's still hot. Yeah. Right. So he saw her for just the good-natured person that she was, right? Okay. And then he comes back because he sees he wants to see what's going on with this dude. Wow, who's beating him up? Who is beating up this dude? And he's just like, Barbara? He's shocked because he thought that this was such a good person. And the look on her face looked like she was kind of ashamed that he's seeing what she's doing. Because it looks bad, right? It would look bad on her because he's always saw her. He's always seen her as that good-natured person. And now look at what she's doing now. Look at what she's become. And instead of dealing with that, she doesn't deal with that because nope, it's not, I don't deal with that. It's not my fault. I'm like this. It was the wish's fault. So mind your business. And she runs away from it.
But that was supposed to represent the turn. But go ahead, Jake.
I have a question. I'm trying to remember the time frame because I've kind of started repressing this movie. Remember the scene where she opens her fridge door and she rips it off because she doesn't know her own strength? Wouldn't you think she would have ripped off her own door going into it if she was actually becoming Diana? Like, how long does it take her to become that?
Well, it was instantly. It was instantly because like that's when she like changed her clothes. As soon as she made the wish,
she would have ripped off her own door because she doesn't know her own strength. So how is she like she opens the door fine, but then she goes to her fridge and goes, oh, I don't know. Man. Let me go to the gym. Like lift these. Like
that's why. See, that's why I thought that because she wished to be like Diana. That's why I thought that her wish was linked to Diana. I thought that she was getting the strength that Diana was losing. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
It could have been, but they didn't exactly like kind of.
They didn't flesh that out.
Yeah, they didn't flesh it out.
Yeah, that's what I thought because you're absolutely right. Like she should have been strong.
Yeah,
that should have happened. Why the next day
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't realize it because, like, as soon as she made the wish, she looked in the mirror, then she changed her clothes, kind of tried to sexy up some.
But she was at work. There's
Yeah,
plenty, and
that's
she
what
was
I'm saying.
giving a tour at work. So wouldn't she have had to open doors at work?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. That's what I'm
And
saying.
then,
Like,
she,
you know,
and
like,
then she went shopping. So
so
She
they
does
kind
it
of like,
carefully.
they didn't exactly have to like flat out in an exposition say like that was what was happening, but if they had better conveyed it, like, oh, like as Diana's strength wanes,
That would have been
she could
cool.
become stronger.
yeah, that's why I thought I thought her wish was connected with Diana.
Yeah.
Losing her strength, but apparently it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it's Diana's own wish that weakened her.
Yeah.
But that was her most, prized possession was her abilities. But I will say with Cheetah, with Barbara, I do see the monkey paw logic of this is that Diana was like telegraphing your best qualities is your niceness, is how you are considerate. And so they were trying to show that turn when she was kicking the guy up a couple blocks, that her personality was turning, but it's all about the execution of that. And I don't think a lot of people bought
Yeah.
her
And
turn.
what's funny too is when Diana was telling her that, like, you're losing yourself. You used to be so nice, and when she told her that, what did Cheetah do, or what did Barbara do? She twisted it around again because she doesn't want to deal with it. It's not her fault. She doesn't take any responsibility for anything. She just doesn't want to lose what she has now.
Right.
So I just really don't like that whole.
You just didn't like the execution of it. I mean, as far as like why it happened, that's in the plot as far as why her attitude changed. But you didn't like how it was executed.
Right.
That she became that selfish person. Which she's supposed to become that.
Well, no, she can be a selfish person. That's fine. But the fact that they played it as a victim angle, the fact that she's just a victim, poor me, woe is me.
Yeah, because like Barbara Minerva
sorry for me.
Yeah, Barbara Minerva in the comics was selfish. So if they had played up that angle, because like she was selfish, she wanted the power. It was all about her. She wanted.
She should have started that way. That's I think the problem. She should have started.
Exactly.
Not this
she should have started that way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She should have started that way. If she started that way, then it would have been perfect. It would have made more sense. Because then when she's on the plane with Maxwell Lord, she is like, okay, I don't want to be like Diana anymore, because when they were fighting at the White House, Diana made her look at herself and be like, you lost yourself. Look, you lost this good person. And she's like, I don't want to be like Diana anymore. I want to be better. I want to be the better person. Better. Let me be better than her.
She should have started that way from the beginning. Then it would have been a whole different movie for her. Yep.
Happy
I agree.
birthday, Bill Memo.
Happy birthday.
So just to go like real fast into this article. I'm not gonna like read the entire article. I'm just gonna go through the tweets, like people's reactions to.
Look, Mara, there's a Cyberpunk ad. Go
I know. So like this guy says, the Wonder Woman Cheetah CGI people must have really liked the 2019 hit musical Song Station's Cats.
It wasn't that bad. I'm not gonna say it's Cats level. It was dark. It was dark.
Yeah. like they use like basically like okay, cat, like another Cats reference. This one says it's just whack as fuck Cheetah lady. Green Lantern bad. Green Lantern bad.
This is what I'm talking. It's a little. I'm just saying it wasn't nearly as bad as Green Lantern CGI. I'm not gonna say that.
This guy says the CGI and Cheetah was so bad.
That fight scene was really bad.
Yeah.
That fight.
With the full Cheetah fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were parts, the close-up parts where it's not CGI.
Yeah.
Or at least you kind of do, because they're not exactly. Both villains, they lost their way. They're actually good. They're actually good people. Yes, there's no real clear-cut villain in this movie, because there's no repercussions for any of the villains, for either villain in this movie. There's no repercussions for either of them. And that bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah, Maxwell Lord. That's the one thing. I would accept criticism on, because in the comics he didn't have a son, so that was put in there to
make him.
To get him out of this as a good person.
Yeah, that was put in there to make him more sympathetic. They needed an angle to make both villains sympathetic. Why?
I didn't like that. Yeah.
Why? Simply because they wanted this I really think that they want this movie to be more acceptable for children. I mean, you
Yeah.
saw it at the very beginning with Wonder Woman at the mall. That little girl was just like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you.
I got you.
They
got
wanted this movie to be more acceptable to kids, play well to kids. We can't show kids repercussions for doing bad
Yeah.
things.
See, halfway through the film, when it was like, okay, Maxwell Lord became the stone, and Steve Trevor was like, well, we got to destroy him. I thought they was going to really go follow through with that. Like, let's destroy this guy. You know, Diana, go get your sword. You know, and let's take care of this guy. So yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, I didn't like what they did with Maxwell Lord. Then he just like, oh, I renounce my wish, and that was it. That was it.
You're telling him,
No,
like,
Ryan, no, because there's no good people in this world. None. No good people. Everybody is selfish.
Except Diana.
Yeah. See, this is like this tweet right here kind of reflects like the issue I have like with the CGI as a whole is that they had how long to polish it.
That's what we've been saying, right? Since we saw, I mean, I just don't like it. I hate it. Since we first saw the cheetah, when she was revealed in the trailer, we were like, okay, well, it doesn't come out till this time. They have time to fix it. Well, maybe they'll fix it. Maybe they'll fix it. Maybe it'll look better in theaters. No, it looks the same. It looks like what they gave us in the trailer. That's what we're seeing in the movie.
Oh yeah, I believe that. They just did,
Yeah,
they just kept it in the dark. That's all. They just
So like that's like the big issue I had is that they had all this time to polish it. I mean, like, granted, I'm not like at all loving her looks. You know, I love like Cheetah from the comics. I love the red hair. I love like her attitude, her badass attitude, things like that. And I got nothing of that from the performance and the character in this film. But aside from that, like I'm like looking at like the CGI and going, you couldn't spend like. I don't know, like the budget itself, like, is basically at the time was like is a blockbuster budget basically for a movie. Like, you couldn't set aside enough to polish the special effects. People can work from home. You can't blame the Comic-Con forever. People can work from home doing this.
That's true. That's what Zach's been doing. He's been making Steppenwolf at home. So
yeah. So
yeah, Zach's working from home. That's right. That is very true.
Yeah,
that is very true.
So I'm like you can't like blame this all forever. Like you had plenty of time to say, hey, like we'll supply you with this. You work from since you have to work from home, we need to polish these effects up because this movie has to be released by this date. We can't push it back anymore, sort of a situation. So that's like so. And real fast before we go into just to add and on a fun note to the Home Alone article that I found on CBR. Let's see what Wonder Woman is tracking to get for opening weekend. So I found another article on CBR.com. Where is it? Okay, tracking for pandemics. I love how they said for the pandemics. Best weekend box office.
Yay, pandemic.
So
shoot for the stars.
Tracking.
Shoot for the stars.
Wonder Woman 84 opened in 2,150 theaters nationwide and it's on its way to having the best 3-day sales of the pandemic, basically. This would surpass the 3-day of Tenet, which made 9.3 million, and Croods 2, which made 9.7 million.
I watched Croods 2.
How was that? I haven't watched it yet because my theater closed. So
yeah, I watched it in theaters, actually. It wasn't as good as the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The
first one was great. Yeah,
the first one was amazing. I loved the first one. Such a good movie. Croods 2 was a typical sequel. It's a typical child sequel. But it was it was okay. The grandma was like the best part of that.
Yeah, was it still Cloris Leachman doing the voice?
I don't know who that is.
Did you ever see Young Frankenstein?
Mm-mm.
Okay, never mind. I can't think. I'm trying to think. She's been in a lot, but I don't know. It's like
I'm pretty sure they have the same voice actors.
Yeah, I'm assuming all returned.
Yeah. I think they have the same voice actors, but it was kind of cute. I had since I was vlogging a little bit, I filmed some of the movie, and it was okay.
Exclusive.
It was all right. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah. So this doesn't really go give us because obviously Like we won't find out really anything until tomorrow as far as like what
Right.
it do for 3-day box office. But right now, as it stands, it's saying it's tracking to like surpass Tenet and Cruise 2.
Mhm.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Well-
But like a lot, but like we'll see. Like like I said, we'll see. I'm betting a lot of people did like what I was forced to do it. I was forced to do this.
That ain't right.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We beat Cruise too. Yeah.
Take that, haters.
Oh my god.
Oh
rough.
man.
But okay, she was Wonder Woman's mom in the 70s TV show. Okay.
Interesting.
But those two movies did not release on a streaming service. This one did. So I don't know how that's going to factor into the 3-day total for the box office opening. If they're just going to look at theaters or they're going to look at how many people, not necessarily in terms of money, but how many like watched it through HBO Max's service and kind of factor that in for this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they should. I mean, they should. And there should be a separate, metric completely. But yeah, I guess enough people went to the theaters, to get past Cruise. So hey,
I will disagree with this to an extent. They should have just made it present day, to be honest, not in the 80s. I would say like if they were to do a Wonder Woman sequel, set it between BVS and Justice League, because it would tie into the continuity set up in BVS that she turned her back on humanity for 100 years. And basically seeing her in action in BVS was like the first time she was like, okay, I have to step in and help defeat
Doomsday.
Yeah. I have to step in and help. I can't stand by this time. I can't turn my back on humanity. And then they could have like did the sequel between BVS and Justice League or something like that. So it would have been present day. But I think they just wanted basically just to hit us in the nostalgia feels with the 80s. Basically, it's like remember the good time, remember the good time we had.
But they didn't show us. That's one criticism too that I agree with. They didn't show anything from the 80s, like
except the mall scene. Except the mall scene. The mall scene slapped you up.
They showed plenty from the 80s. What are you talking about? Their clothing was just on point with the 80s. Like that's how people really dressed.
Yeah,
they really dressed like that.
Yeah, I'm like not everyone's
maybe
going to have
in like 80s
television,
pop,
like movies,
pop videos,
and
or rock videos that they dressed like that, but not everyday people did not fucking dress like that.
Steve pointed out to me, because he's more of a nerd with this when it comes to this, and there was I think a super sticker that I missed. And I gotta find it. Sorry, real fast. But Stieg pointed this out to me. Why? Show these messages. Oh my god, there's so many I have to approve. Sorry, I'm on the YouTube side right now. Give me a minute.
Good.
Why? What's with these Google moderators? There's nothing wrong in these messages.
What's wrong? What happened?
I had to approve all these messages, and there's nothing really wrong with them.
Mod someone.
Well, you're mod. But
I said mod someone.
Someone else.
Yeah. But hold on. Well, Ryan's in the chat. He's a mod.
He's not gonna do that.
Ryan just wants a wrench.
For Pat Tsunami, Rainbow Unicorn. Thank you so much. I wasn't able to
mod Blue-Eyed Scorpio.
God.
In our cases, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I will mod other people after this stream because I'm not gonna go through that whole process right now.
They swear, in the middle of a stream, people be like, "Oh, mod me." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not about to take the time."
Yeah, I'm not gonna
right now. I'll get at you later.
I will mod you, Daniel, and Rhino. Okay, I will mod you guys. I'll make sure you're modded. All right. I will do it.
No, someone in my stream, they was like, "Mod, bro, mod." I'm like,
bro, mommy, bro, no, bro, no, bro.
I'm kind of going through some stuff right now.
Okay, all right. So let's stop sharing the screen here, basically. So that's where it's tracking right now. All right. I'm not going to bring up the Bounding into Comics article, but in that article, that's where Patty Jenkins says that it's prescient to her, to reflect that she's kind of basically, in a way, self-insertion in this film. What she herself is feeling, not exactly what would be universal to humanity necessarily at this point, in a sense. So, oh my God, Will, senpai mod. All right, before we wrap up, let's just see what this just to have fun, because like it's the day after Christmas, and Home Alone is considered, while the family itself is rather horrible,
I can't.
it's considered a Christmas movie.
We're not
What?
going to talk anymore about Wonder Woman.
No,
That's it. All
that's
right.
it. There's
Well, Steph, I was going to invite you on my show to talk about it. I guess that's a no. I guess that's a no. All right.
but
Sorry.
just because the Raging Geek Jedi show starts in like half an hour, so I figure we'll
Oh,
start
yeah, you do
wrapping
that.
up. Yeah, we'll start wrapping up, and we'll look at what the criminal defense attorney came up with in terms of getting Kevin off for the hijinks he pulled at the end of Home Alone. The traps, he said, which is like the best part of that movie. Let's like be honest. The best part of that film was watching the traps.
Yeah. I agree.
So this guy. So before I go into this article, I have a $2 super chat from Melissa Lord. I loved seeing Linda Carter, but the movie was that's okay. We'll touch on that. They'll touch on that real fast. In a way, I loved seeing Linda Carter, but Steph and I kind of had a little bit of issues with the cameo. The biggest issue I have is the breaking of the fourth wall. Breaking of the fourth wall. Her winking at the people, going nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Remember, I was the original Wonder Woman.
Remember?
You remember?
I've been doing this for a long time.
Remember?
That's exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
Actually.
My issue is more. It's actually more than that, right? Like Linda Carter. Just be happy that she's in the movie and accept it. She's a beautiful cameo. Of course, I love that they have Linda Carter in the movie. It's beautiful that she played that role of being the one warrior that protected and saved and sacrificed herself for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense that they were to give Linda Carter that role. However, once again, this is a universe, and everybody on the mascara has an accent. Everybody, even Diana has an accent, and she's been living amongst regular people for a while, and she still has her accent, but Linda doesn't. And it's just you know, that's a little gripe. It's a tiny little gripe that I have. Because when they ask her for her name, you know, she gives her name, and she's, oh, that's beautiful, and she's like, thank you. It's from my culture, and it you know, while beautiful, and I love that they gave her that role, I don't like that they should have just made her do an accent. Why couldn't they do that? Why couldn't they just have her do an accent? She's from the mascara. She's the best, the greatest warrior from the mascara. Why didn't they give her the accent? Just have her do an accent. So. And then after that,
well, yes, you didn't have the accent as a child, but what happens is like you
had a little bit. She had a little bit. I just don't think that the accent.
But if you had grown up with that and hearing that's basically how people develop accents. Is growing up in a certain area or like a country. That's how people develop accents. It's like you're picking it up as you're growing up. So if she grew up in Themyscira, not in Themyscira, because like they had escaped Themyscira, but if she at least grew up with them, because she was an Amazon herself, she would have developed at least something to tie her to that culture, and part of the culture would be the accent. Yeah, because the others have accents too. Even Robin White had a little bit of an accent when she was talking. So,
yeah, and like, that's the only thing that. And then after that, you know, she does the wink and she breaks the fourth wall. And of course, they didn't give her the accent because it's Linda Carter, and Linda Carter is playing the part of Wonder Woman. You have to be reminded that she's actually not that that goddess that saved everybody. She's actually Wonder Woman. This is a Wonder Woman cameo.
Boom.
Yeah.
This is a Wonder Woman cameo, and that's really what this is. It's not really connected to the story.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman.
And I know CBR is generally a garbage news site, but I saw this article and I'm like, you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun because it's the day after Christmas.
So that's the only problem. And I was talking to Mara about this too last night. Like even when Stan Lee is in and gives his cameos, right? I mean, they put him in full costume. They make it work.
He's part of the story
Within the movie. They make it work in the story. Right? I mean,
I don't know.
It's Linda Carter.
Yeah, it was basically just like,
exactly.
You remember Linda Carter? You remember Linda Carter?
Let's take it out. The movie's over. It's Linda Carter.
Yeah.
That's how I took it. Yeah.
So
that's the only thing that.
That wasn't the only thing. What are you talking
That's my gripe about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, okay, you have a criminal defense attorney defending Kevin's antics, even though he found them defensible, even though despite their harmfulness. So, like, despite their harmfulness. So, like, I'm like, well, he had a flamethrower, he iced his bears, he had an iron fall on Daniel Stern. I'm like,
that's.
So let's see what the guy says, just real fast, just to have some fun. Like I said, it's the day after Christmas. So we all know the general plot of Home Alone. Family that's not exactly the best family in like movie history. Let's be honest, they're kind of horrible people. Leave their Kevin McAllister home alone, and you have these two criminals who are robbing homes, and they target his house for obvious reasons because it's in a very nice neighborhood. So they're going to rob all the homes around them, and they save that one for last because it's the best.
Yeah.
So
since he laid eyes on it, wanted it.
Yeah, wanted it. So all right. So basically, Michael Burish, a defense attorney, recently offered his own analysis of McAllister's antics and how legally defensible they would be in the real world. He explained the provision in Illinois law that prohibits the use of force in defense of a dwelling is fairly permissive. He continued to defend the heated doorknob trap and others as permissible under these sections because he originally believed his acts were necessary to prevent the commission of a felony.
Wow.
So he actually went full on into like based on these sections of the law. Like,
right, he went in. Yeah,
went in. So,
Cool.
so let's see. Full on like here. He even puts a screenshot of them. Kevin's initial antics, the heated doorknob on the front door and the torch inside the back door constituted force likely to cause death or great bodily harm. However, like it follows that he did it because he thought like he was defending his home, basically.
Wow.
So he's basically going into these sections and defending Kevin.
Wow, he tweeted a lot about this. Wow.
Like basically like in
Serious.
total showing.
I wonder if this was like I wonder if he was at home with his family at Christmas time and they were watching this movie and they were asking him all these questions and he's like, it's a good idea.
Yeah. So he ends it with Kevin's belief that he had caused his family to disappear and that he alone was responsible for protecting the home without police assistance should be viewed through the lens of a reasonable 8-year-old and is therefore reasonable. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Oh, what an argument. Therefore, it's reasonable.
So therefore, it's reasonable. Although, to be fair to Kevin, the police never like let him know that the police were at the door. They just knocked. So,
Yeah,
don't police go, like, you know, like at least say something to their guards, like, "Hey, we're the police here." Kind of, you know, like at least let him
Supposed
know.
to.
Like the police knocking on the door.
Like, please. Open.
Yeah, police. Anybody home? Police. Like from my experience, that's what they generally do. So like,
Tell them to count their kids again.
yeah, tell them. Yeah, that was like all the adults, in a way, are portrayed as horrible people. I mean, like the kids themselves are like, but like the adults are like.
I'm just shocked he tweeted about. He had about 10 tweets.
So, darn Second Amendment children. So, I figured like we'd go like not exactly go through everything, but he came up with a defense for Kevin McAllister during this Christmas season. So basically, to sum up, Kevin would have a case in court and he would get off based on these sections in Illinois law.
That's crazy.
So there is this, and I did actually watch the end of Home Alone, Christmas Eve night. I was watching it, and right before I started wrapping my presents, and so the traps themselves, like I said, are the best part for me. That's like my favorite part of the movie. I could like skip everything just about leading up to that point, and just watch that and be fine. Because
it's still very watchable.
The crime against movies, I will agree there. Like after the second one, it's like
I didn't even know there was a fourth one or a third one.
there's actually 5. I think there's actually
This one.
yeah, I think
It's on Disney
5.
Plus, ain't it? Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the parents are okay except Uncle Frank. Yeah, I'm saying like basically like the parents themselves, like the adults themselves. When I say like horrible, might be like like a stretch of the word, but I'm saying like basically they I don't know, like like you have the one aunt who has that Fuller, who's played by what is it? Macaulay Culkin's real life brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Joe Mimo. Did you mean to write that? Asian Home Alone Perfect.
Autocorrect,
Or
probably.
is it autocorrected?
I think it's
he was getting mad at autocorrect earlier.
yeah. I think that's autocorrect.
That's why I thought that. I was like, I don't think he meant that.
Yeah.
They
5,
were
they're 5.
Again.
So like, Uncle Frank is like the truly horrible one of the family, like truly horrible one. Like, when I say horrible, I'm saying it's a stretch of the word. I'm just saying like they're not the best. They're not the best if you actually think about that family.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to be dysfunctional, but they're not the best. And Frank, if he had said when he said to the mom on the plane, "If it makes you feel any better, I forgot my reading glasses," I like tell my parents.
I would have slapped that dude.
Like, yeah, I say they would have needed
like,
they would have needed air marshals long before 9/11, because I would have like started bitch slapping.
Like, oh, you're staying here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crazy.
So, quarantine Home Alone 6.
There we go.
So basically we are going to start wrapping it up here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because in about 20 minutes I will be going on the Raging Geek Jedi show. So there's the continuing the Wonder Woman conversation, and I'm pretty confident, like this movie was just released yesterday, that we're going to probably be talking about this film this next coming week or weeks, because there is. I'm not saying necessarily there's a lot to digest, but there is going to be a lot of like back and forth. There's like a back and forth between people who are defending it, people who are criticizing it, people who are in between going, "It's okay." And I think that's the general consensus. It's okay for a lot of people, because it's not wowing really anyone necessarily, at least most people. But you had the people coming and go, "Well, it's not exactly horrible either. It's basically middle of the road." From like a lot of people. So.
And to be fair, as well.
Why are you talking about my
to be fair, the only thing that I was on the fence about with Wonder Woman 84 was Cheetah, was Kristen Wiig's casting as Cheetah. That was it. That was the only thing that I was on the fence about with Wonder Woman 84. So I was going into this just like I'll watch this with an open mind, even watch Kristen Wiig with an open mind. Let's see how she does. And I kid you not, like me and Mara watching it together in a private StreamYards, and during the mall scene, we were both just like this.
Yeah. And Ryan says here that he fell asleep during the biggest action sequence. I yawned during
She did. Mara yawned during it. She was about to fall asleep. She paused the movie and she's like, "We got to take a break." We had an intermission.
We had an intermission.
I
got to take a break. Because she was writing notes, and she's like, I wrote notes down here, and I have Mara yawned.
I mean, my thing is, like I said, I enjoyed parts of the movie, and my thing is, I understand the valid criticisms. We kind of touched on a few of them today. I'm more speaking against people who are using like hyperboles about that. It's just totally,
if you're going to say the movie sucks, give a reason why you think it sucks. Don't say the movie sucks.
Like Steph, she gave a lot. She gave a lot of specifics.
Craig Corney says, "I was fine." So. But like I said, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, in about 20 minutes, I will be popping on to the Raging Geek Jedi show for more pop culture discussion and movie trivia. I don't count Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's just a trilogy to me, but I had to watch it anyway. So we'll see how well I do. We'll see how well I do. And I know Steve Kenobi is like full on ready to beat me, and I'm like, I don't care. Go ahead and win.
Give him the W.
Did you
Yeah,
notice
I'll give you the dub. I don't care. That's fine. So
Did you notice at the very end, after Maxwell Lord is like, I renounce my wish, and he jumped off that thing, he fell.
yeah, he did. He fell. He was like,
Fell, and he had to get back up. Oh,
Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Keep rolling. Yeah, keep rolling.
I was just like, oh, Jesus.
Like we can't do another take. Just keep rolling. Great. So all right, but Steph, any live streams or videos you have planned coming up for your channel?
What?
I'm sorry, I was gonna say like we normally do drunk stream, but you're kind of like
Yeah.
we're gonna have that next week.
No, I don't think I don't think
Yeah.
so. But I have makeup and media tomorrow morning on my channel. Yay!
So I might be able to do that because like there's nothing I have going on really. So depending on when you start that, I might be able to join.
And we'll just talk more Wonder Woman.
Oh my god, yes.
I watched it again before we started the stream.
Oh my god.
I just wanted to hear me out.
That's why.
Hear me out. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't good. I just wanted to make sure.
Mhm.
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't judging it too harshly. Yeah, it wasn't good.
So okay, so folks, she was actually fair. She watched it again because she was like, I want to make sure that I didn't wasn't being too hard on the movie, and it's like, yeah, it's really not that good.
Oh wait, let me share my screen real quick.
All right. So it's kind of like when I don't know how many people in the chat love the MCU, but I was kind of the opposite with Civil War. I watched it and I was like still on that hype train. I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. And I watched it again. Going, this is actually boring as hell.
Yeah, I need more than one view for any film. Yeah, especially Marvel.
Yeah, so I watched Civil War and I'm like, what Civil War happened in that? Am I missing something?
I mean, to have that name, that's a problem. They should have just even named it that.
Yeah,
because that makes you think of the comics and the larger aspects of the comics. Oh my god, is that a camera trick? That man's face.
I mean,
though.
come on.
Look at that man's face.
Look at that.
Hey, that was dope.
Right? Look.
Like Trey in the chat said, it was play fight.
And this is the last was these two guys.
Look at how she does it. Hold on, wait.
Look at all the colors and
Yeah.
Look at this part.
and she's happy.
She's laughing. It's so fun. It's so much fun for kids. No guns.
That's some empowerment.
Squish the guns. Squish the guns. No guns. I hate guns.
Oh man, and swords and shields and
then they try to get away. Look at this part.
well, how'd that happen?
I
don't know.
The lasso to catch both of them.
That's some skills.
She's gliding on the ground like it's ice skating. I don't know.
Because it's like heavenly.
Hey, Jason C.
Oh my god, look. Oh no.
And she catches him. Boom.
And
Right
he
and then
attacks him. And then look.
and then and then wink.
Kids are cute.
Yeah.
That sold me right there.
But I saw my favorite part is when she like does the whole shh, even though she's around. How many people who saw it?
But just you, child.
Just you. It's like they just get stitches. Shh.
I mean, that set the tone. That was like the first or it was second scene of the film. So I mean, that set the tone. That's what we're stepping into.
Yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah.
To be fair to the movie, that it set up the tone. Well, I mean, one of the tones, because it was totally all over the place, but one of the tones it was setting up was right there.
Yeah.
In that
This
moment.
was the Wonder Woman you was getting. Like that's what
Yeah.
Patty was saying. This is the Wonder Woman for this film.
So okay, so basically, makeup and media with Steph tomorrow morning. I don't. Do you have a time necessarily, or is it basically whenever you wake up for tomorrow?
I think it's like 11 around.
11?
Yeah, around 11 Central.
11 Central. So if it's 11 Central, it'd be like noon, right?
Yeah, for you.
For Easter.
Okay.
I can go 10 if you want.
Well, if I were to join, that would probably work better for me, where I could be in there for a little bit.
Okay.
Because when it's noon, I generally have lunch with family, or at least close to them. So I don't know. We'll see. But still, let everybody know any live streams or any videos you have coming up for your channel.
Yeah. Well, at Still Abdul Inc. on YouTube and at Twitter, the same name as well. Tomorrow, coincidentally, I'm having a verbal fight with Matt Jarbo, the Matt Jarbo, about Wonder Woman. So this is a good practice tonight with Steph and Jade to, kind of get my arguments together. So it's gonna be fun tomorrow. Me and Jarbo are cool, so it's gonna be. He hates the movie probably just as much as y'all do. So that'll be fun. And I normally do DC streams and all that. Eventually, I'm gonna get all y'all and RK and Lethal. We'll do some Snyder Cut talk in the near future. So I think I'll be more happier. Me and Steph will be more friends at that time. Right now, we're not. And that's cool.
To be fair, I don't hate this movie.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
You do.
I
Steph.
don't hate. No, I don't. Having criticisms about a movie doesn't mean you hate the movie. I just wish it was a lot better. And what's really bad when I was watching that mall scene. Okay, the mall scene at the very beginning. I was like, oh wow, they really trick you, don't they? They really get you with the trailer, because in the trailer they show all the really good parts, the really good clips in the mall scene. They leave out the fact that she's gliding on the floor. They leave out the fact that she's just like, I'm like a trapeze artist now. They leave out, they left out the really bad like wire work. And they kept in all of the really good scenes that actually looked good. Like, but those are criticisms. It's just, it doesn't mean I don't like the movie. It just means that I wish it was better.
Yeah,
that's the first movie was fantastic.
It's like the criticism does not necessarily mean that we hate the movie for the most part, but it's like, for me, it's disappointment. Because I'm going off of like how I felt with the first Wonder Woman film and how it like basically like got me on board with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and then I watched this movie and it's just disappointment. That's how I feel. It's not so. I'm when I criticize it, I'm coming from a point where it's like I wanted to like this film. If I went in just to hate it, then yeah, you could have an argument that like I had motivation behind. Like you could call me a hater then, but I'm coming from a point where it's like it's almost like a gutted feeling where I'm watching the film going.
And not only that,
I wanted to like it, and you kind of like ripped my heart out and then and it said, and then stomped on it, and then put it back into my chest and go, how do you feel now? That's like,
and not only that,
I really feel.
This is supposed to be in the DCEU, right? This is supposed to be in the DCEU. And what's coming up next in DCEU?
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Justice League, the real
Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah. So this is going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, oh, well, seriously? We're going to continue with this universe? Really? So
yeah.
That's why I'm just like, God, I'm so disappointed. Gal Gadot is a great, fantastic Wonder Woman. This movie just didn't. Yeah, it's just not good. The story's not good. The villain's
They should have just released it. They should have just released it early last year and got it out of the way. Because they knew Zach was coming back. So. But yeah,
we'll see. Because like Seth pointed out, it's kind of leading into the Snyder Cut. People are going to be like, I think people are going to be almost like smacked with shock because you're going to be coming up with this film, and then you're going to see a tonal difference with Wonder Woman and Zack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to get that sword and shield back and be like, hey.
But okay.
They're gonna be like, "Where's her armor? Where's her golden armor?"
Yeah, so
I broke it.
she didn't have it in BVS.
Only the wings are broken. She still wears that armor.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we touched on this on the live stream, but like, she could fly with the armor. Why does she need to practice flying? But anyway,
And she has her invisible jet. Why does she even fly?
Yeah. So on that note, again, I keep saying on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for stopping by. I want to thank my lovely co-host, My Nerdy Home, Steph, and our guest, Sil Abdul. Sorry, Ink.
Yes.
Who's basically a fellow DC fan like us, who was more forgiving of the film than we were, but we had fun with the conversation. And he's a fellow Snyder Cut fan, and we will be having more conversation in the near future because we'll be getting closer to that as the time goes on, because that's going to be released sometime in March. When we have official dates, we will tweet that out. We'll let people know. You can catch me in about 10 minutes on Geek Blend's channel for the Raging Geek Jedi show, and maybe on Steph's channel tomorrow for the Makeup and Media, where we get to see us put our faces on and talk more about Wonder Woman and as well as other pop culture news. So until next week, good night, everyone. Thank you for showing up to the last official Talk Nerdy to Us for 2020, because we will next see you guys for this broadcast officially in 2021. So good night. Have fun. Happy New Year. Hope it's a good one, considering what 2020 was. And we'll see you all next week.
Thanks for bringing tacos, Tim.
Bye.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.